Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another Misfits League race, round number 5, around the circuit of Zandvoort in Netherlands. My name is Stars, and joining me is the Flying Spaniard. Beto, how are you going today, sir?
Hello, stars. I'm doing very good here. We will be watching this America Division League for MRL on Zambor.
I think it's going to be a cracker. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, we are going to be premiering this on YouTube. Unfortunately, we've had some tech issues, which has stopped us from streaming. But this will be going on to YouTube the following day, which you guys will be able to watch that nice and live. Now, we'll just quickly talk about while the drivers are loading in. We do have, I believe, a full grid today, all 20 drivers, so that is great news. Our standings currently for the Americas division, we have S King, who's in the lead by 3 points after last week's P2, I believe it was, Bito, around China. And then we have Becky B in second, with Rhapsody in third, BTFU in fourth, and Yama in 5. Now, just really quickly, I want to touch on something here, Beto. Something I'm very interested about is Cedras in the Renault. Now, he was a he managed to get a full-time seat in the Renault car, and on debut, he gets a win. What about that?
Yeah, he had a win. It was a fantastic win. I actually don't think if he started on pole, I don't think so, but it was amazing debut from him. It's as best as he can do it.
Unbelievable. It was just sensational drive. I believe he did the optimal strategy as well, and it just worked. He stayed out of trouble, and he managed to really bring the car in and just, I mean, race his own race, and it's great to see. But now
Yeah,
we do move on to Zandvoort. Obviously, a completely different track here. Very quick, very short track, very quick track. Our first car is Arnhel. He will be in the racing point, who will start off proceedings for the qualifying sessions. The drivers do have 18 minutes of quali. At the moment, it is a dry quali by the looks of it. Hopefully, we do get a weather report soonish in regards to what it's like going to be for the race. But at the moment, could be a wet race. Who knows?
yeah, definitely. As a very short track, the drivers will be doing around 1 minute 8, 1 minute 9, the times on quali. So we will see because Angel is going to start his first flying lap, opening the DRS here on turn 14, just starting the lap, and we will see on board how he does this.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So as he takes through turn at number 1, up through the gears, into turn number 2 here, that little right corner. You don't really want to touch the curb there. He did get amongst it, did unsettle the car a little bit, because it does make it a little bit tricky for turn 3 there. Very nice banking though. Now you just basically up through the gears, aren't you, Beto? All the way down, through 4, through 5, through 6. And he does actually invalidate. That was on my end anyway, that looked like a very
Yes.
rough invalidation, I'm afraid. Who do we have behind? We do have Becky B behind, so he will be our first flying lap contender. So as he goes through his turn number 9, he uses all of the track there, sets himself up nicely for turn number 10, all the way down to the third gear, up. Did a little bit short shift there with the DRS wide open. Obviously, we can see that on stream right now. Into the very heavy and difficult braking zone of turn 11. And then trying to get the car nice and hard, but then open it up as quickly as you can for turn number 12. Now we come into the last braking zone of the lap here. Turn number 13 uses all of that exit curb. Then he goes on the 18-degree banking of turn number 14. Keeps the car nice and hard. What's it going to be? Our first flying lap of the day is a 108.5. Now, Beto, that is very quick. That's a quick
Yeah,
first lap there.
it's very quick. I actually think it's almost tied, if not 6 thousandths faster than the pole position today on tier 3. A very dynamic race we had today, stars.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We do have a couple of drivers who are now coming over. We just had Zamis, who did a 109.1. Cedras did actually go up into P2 as well. Rhapsody puts in a time, so these times are coming in quick, very quick. Well, that is the wrong driver there. It's very hard to know, but we are on board with Max Senna, who's just starting his lap. So, Beto, run us through the lap again. Obviously, we're on board with Max Senna, so it'll be interesting to see how he takes this approach into the corners here.
Yeah, he's taking corner 3 here on Zambot. He's taking the profit of that banking to put the throttle down as soon as possible. Let's see, because he's climbing the gears. We'll see if he doesn't validate. He doesn't, unlike Angel did on his first run. So he will be crossing the line of sector 1 and crossing and entering sector 2, just trying to take all the curb, almost all the curb, because Otherwise, you can go super wide and straight there on turn 9. He will be taking turn 10, trying to put the throttle down as possible, putting the DRS on, utilizing all the battery. You can save a little bit here if you want some ERS deployment at the straight at the main straight. So he'll be on the Audi section, putting the throttle down again on the last braking zone. As I said, this braking zone is super important. I think it's the most important turn on all the track because you carry all the speed from turn 13 to turn 14 flat out to the line, and he sets a 9.4 as a banker lap.
Yeah, that's not a bad lap at all. That's for sure. Obviously, you should be very happy with that. We do have a couple of cars on outlaps at the moment, a few cars in the pits. The one thing that you did actually mention there, Bido, which I'm very interested about, is you talked about ERS savement, and not using as much through particular corners, etc., etc. Why is that?
Yeah, because you have 4 megajoules here on the lap. Well, on all the laps on quali you have 4 megajoules, but I think you need to save a little bit because otherwise, as we saw on Max Senna, and when you open DRS just on the main straight, it's like you run out of deployment. You can see the X on red on the telemetry, and you run out of deployment. So you can save a little bit just entering sector 3 on that chicane. It's the slowest part of the track. You can save it and you won't lose that much time. So you prefer to be zero on energy on that part rather than being on the main straight.
Sure, sure, okay. Well, I mean that makes sense because obviously you don't want to lose out on that last little squirt to the finish line. Obviously it's straight, so you want as much power as you physically can. Hopefully, trying to put in that very quick lap. We did actually just miss a couple of drivers who have put in some good laps. BTFU actually slots in just behind our provisional pole sitter of Becky B over about 1/10, just 1/10 off. So he's obviously got a bit of speed around here. I have heard that the Tauris are looking quite nice. I'm interested to see how Esking does because the man hasn't come out yet, so it'll be interesting to watch. Arnhel gets over the line finally without an invalidation. P5, 108.97. So we have a couple of other drivers out on laps at the moment.
Yeah, it's Harlem who will cross the line. He sets of a 9.5. I think it was the first lap he sets, as well as Paula Brady today as a reserve capacity for Racing Point. I think it's just the debut for her. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Do have Rhapsody, who's just starting his flying lap of this, his second flying lap of the session. Just quickly as well, are the drivers doing a harder compound, so they have those 4 soft compound tires, or are they doing, do you think, more balanced strategy and just having the 3?
It really depends on you, because even me, I doubt sometimes to do balance or softer, because if you really have confidence in yourself and you think you don't need 4 softs on quali, you can put balance and you will have 3 and 2 mediums for the race. That's important because if a safety car comes out early, as we was watching the Rhapsody, he was blocked by some Alfa Romeo. I think it was Cherry. No,
Holtz on that
it
one.
was Holtz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you if you have confidence in yourself and probably on the grid as well, you probably only need 3 set of tires, and probably you can do 2 runs on the bunker on your first run. So yeah, it really depends on what you're expecting for the race
Yeah, of course,
in
of
terms of
course.
strategy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It will be interesting to see anyway, but um, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, welcome again to round number 5, season 4 of Circuit Zandvoort, around the Netherlands. We are on board with our Americas division currently, as we do have a couple of drivers who are coming into the pits and also setting up fast laps. I'm back on board with Astrogiant. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we want to just take this opportunity to thank our main partners, Next Level Racing. Their link will be in the description of the YouTube channel, so just want to thank them. Also, if you are interested, check out their gear. They've got some great rigs, some great setups, so if you're looking at getting into that, into the whole sim racing, please go check them out. They've got some beautiful, beautiful gear.
Yeah, definitely. As Astro was setting, I think he was his first lap or probably his second lap, but this time improving. I don't know by how much, but he was setting a lap enough for P11. So we will see because a lot of drivers right now on the pits. I think Maxime is flying. Yeah, he's finishing his lap, but he's on 0 deployment, so he will. I think he will be heading into the pits.
Yeah, that's right. He did end up going into the pits there. DRS wasn't open. I'm on board with Axis now as our, looks like going to be our next flying lap contender. Actually, does Becky B?
It's
No.
J4 J4 will close the lap. He runs out of deployment, as I said earlier to you. He opens the DRS though, but it's P14 for him. It's a 9.6 right now. Is behind his teammate by 5 tenths.
Yeah, that's right. Back on board with Becky B, actually. So Becky B's second lap in the qualifying session. Obviously, our provisional pole sitter at the moment. Do you believe that a few drivers might go for the optimal strategy? Oh, as Becky B loses it heavily, that's his lap done and dusted, and it's going to be probably just coming into the pits after this one. Oh, and there's an invalidation as well. Yeah, do you think many drivers are going to be interested in doing the optimal strategy? Maybe, as Rhapsody's in the way as BTFU. It finally gets out the way though, luckily. Yeah, sorry, I'll try and get it out eventually, Beto. Do you think many drivers are going to be wanting to do the optimal strategy here? Maybe qualify on the medium tyres, or do you think most are just going to go for the softs? And if I finish outside the 10, I get to go on the optimal strategy anyway.
Yeah, I think it's more the second option. Probably they are not planning as his main plan to go on the reverse strategy, trying to start on mediums or hard instead of softs. I think they are trying to do their best qualifying position, because soft to hard is actually possible, and probably you can be affected a little bit on the traffic on the end of, well, when you pit from soft to hard, probably you can have traffic, and that's a critical part of the stints. And I really think they are not planning to go to the reverse strategy, so we will see, because right now they are setting their fastest lap as they can, as I think Becky aborted this lap again after, well, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it did look like maybe he's just going again. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he's improving, because he was barely improving at, I think, 700. We'll see after turn 13. He's taking a good line, not probably taking profit of all, but I think he's on zero deployment. He will go,
Yeah.
yeah, he will be on the pits.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Who have we got now? We've got Axis. Axis is just complete. No, he's coming on an in lap by the looks of it. Any drivers actually out on laps at the moment?
Sidiras, we have Sidiras, who's just invalidated on turn 13. That will be massive for him. He'll have to recover all the time he was gaining. Actually, it wasn't a good lap, so the Renault will go to the pits and start again.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like a lot of drivers are currently on in laps at the moment.
Asking improvement 2/10, crossing the first sector line. So he will be entering the second sector just on turn 10 right now. Puts fourth gear, try to short shift and put the throttle down as soon as possible, opening the DRS. Let's see how he takes this section of the chicane. Probably losing a little bit of time on that second sector. Respect his PB. I think we have a spin. I think it's Paula on first turn.
Yeah, it looks like that as we're just, oh, sorry, excuse me, on board with the Esking, as you were mentioning. He's going to improve on his time. He does actually go provisional pole, Beto, with a 108.412. Not a bad lap at all. He'll be very pleased with that effort, that's for sure.
Yeah, Asking, very good driver, very consistent, good pace. He was on Tier 1 last season, so not really impressed of what he can do, because we know he's a very fast driver, and he's just saying it to us as the qualifying goes away.
Yeah, that's right. So the drivers now currently have 5 minutes left on the clock. I do think a lot of drivers are going to be coming into the pits, more than likely just getting ready for that last flying run. I did just jump on board with Striffim, who's just about to start his lap. Currently P15. I know he's got a lot more in the tank than a 109.8 here. Very quick lap. I think it's a 4.2 kilometer circuit, 14 turns, as Arnhel gets out of his way there. So yeah, it's very hard, isn't it, Biddo? Because one little mistake around here is going to realistically cost you a lot of time and a lot of positions, because it's such a close field, because it's such a small circuit.
Sure, we can see the interval as Striff has enough on turn 7, I think it is. He saves the suspension, he will not have terminal damage. We saw a spin like that today on tier 3 on qualification as well, on the same spot. Is a very critical spot on this lap. You got through a lot of downforce, a lot of speed on that downhill, and well, it's super easy to lose it on the rear, as we can see.
Yeah, exactly right there. I think he just took a bit too much speed and didn't open up the corner as much as he would have liked to, just through the early entry of turn number 7, and obviously he's run a little bit too wide. I'm on board with Rhapsody here. Hopefully Rhapsody does a better job, and he does. He keeps the car nice. Oh my god, Max Senna, the Red Bull right in front of him. That would have distracted me, I can tell you that much. But anyway, he pushes on. He is up by a tenth already on his time, so he's going to likely to put him in only one position, P4. But hopefully he can get through this next sector 2, because sector 2 is very, very tricky at the end of the day. And obviously he's now 2 tenths up there, so into sector 3. There's only 4 corners in sector 3, but in those 4 corners, I swear you lose the most amount of time, don't you, Biddo? It's just so hard to pull it up and get it correct.
Definitely, sector 3 is the most technical part of the track. You have that chicane, then double right-hander, and having to hug the inside as Rhapsody just improves. I think it was 2 tenths and puts himself on the podium position. So after, just changing the subject, after Strife spun there on turn 7, it was 2 spins. Like just after that, I think it was Max Senna and Jay Forsyth doing the same exact spin there as goes, improving with the Renault, and he puts himself into the P2 stars.
Yeah, that was a good effort. I mean, you know, Striffham, he's in the Ferrari. It's a multi-million-dollar company, and with those tyres, I hope they can afford some fridges, because those tyres are going to be well hot. He'll be coming into the pits and hopefully kind of cool those ones down, put some freshies on maybe. As I just did watch Angel actually improve on his time a little bit. Does put him into P6 at the moment. So some real quick times coming in. Obviously, the what are we looking like? It's from first to about 8th. It's about 6 tenths. So very, very tight top field here.
Yeah, it is. It is. Top 10 is actually only in 7 tenth, the gap. So yeah, right now I think we have the last run. I think they're doing the last run. We have Becky B just crossing sector 2, just entering. He's improving by 1 tenth and almost a half. So putting an eye there into pole position, trying to go for the first spot. Very, very rapid racer.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of races, if they're anything to go by, is he's 2 tenths up going to Sector 3. You've got S-King, Becky B, Rhapsody, BTFU, all these guys battling for pole week in, week out. So hopefully it's going to bring in something else in the last minute 30. And he invalidates, Biddo, he invalidates on his last flying run. He's not going to be happy at all. Has he got enough power, enough fuel to do one more? Maybe he does. Maybe he's going.
I don't think so.
No.
That's massive for the classification today.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, with his spot in the championship, as we've got a lot of drivers going slow, getting ready for turn 13 for that last flying run. Angel retires, so he's done and dusted now. He's happy with his time.
We have Cheery. We have Cheery on P17 as a reserve capacity for Alfa Romeo. He was improving 8 cents, crossing the entry line of Sector 3. Let's see what can he do. Is the American driver pushing 8th gear? Let's see, opening the DRS, he does an 189.0, and it's enough for P9. Very good improvement from P17.
Yeah, not a bad lap at all. As we're just on board with Paula, actually is just improving, I think. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, improved. Yeah, improved, and then calling that one quits. Who else we got?
We have J Forsyth, I think, just beginning of a fast lap. We have a lot of drivers now in a lap. We have PTFU as well.
Oh, but he loses it. Yep, saw that, call that on stream, unfortunately. So I think that's him done and dusted there. So he'll probably retire the car soonish. Who have we got again?
Maxime as well on Sector 3.
Oh yeah, just in front, Gauzy.
Yeah, as well, and Jesus.
As the checkered flag goes down, so last laps, this is it. So Gauzy doesn't improve his position.
Jesus neither. Jesus goes to the pits, and Maxime will be, I think, improving by a tenth, and it's enough for jumping Angel. So we'll be on P6. We have a Red Bull on Sector 3. I think it's Max Senna just going onto the 2 last corners, and we'll see if he can improve. BTFU, we saw he was not able to do it after the spin, so it's Max Senna jumping to P9 and dropping Jesus out of the top 10.
Yeah, that's right. Striffham, unfortunately, obviously had some issues there. He's coming into the pits as well. So all these last flying cars are all coming down. We've got Harlem, who's about to cross the line. He goes into P10, slots himself with a 109 flat. Oh, this is it. Everyone's coming in right now. We got S-King, our provisional pole leader. Oh, he's done and dusted. I think that is it, Biddo. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that should be for today's quality stars. It will be asking on pole position for today.
What a amazing quality session. I mean, if quality's anything to go by, the race is going to be great at the end of the day. But yeah, we've got S King who manages to get pole position with a 108.4, Sidras with a 108.5, and Becky B also with a 108.5, 300ths off P2. So we will go through the remainder of the grid when we get into the race. But yeah, so just to confirm, we have S King in the AlphaTauri who managed to get pole, Sidras in the Renault, Becky B in the Williams. That concludes our top three. Then you got Rhapsody in the Mercedes, only 1.5 tenths off. BTFU with a little bit of a gap, about another half a tenth away from Rhapsody in P5, and the other Tauris. So Tauris again, another strong performance in qualifying. Maxine B in the McLaren, Arnhell in the Racing Point Axis. Max Senna and Harlan rounds out the 10. So we will go through the remainder of the grid. We do get in, but tell you what, Beto, that was a great session. Drivers, I mean, they're pumped. I know they are. You know, this track, it's fun, it's exciting, very difficult to overtake though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We saw a lot of overtakes though here on Tier 3 today, but yeah, it was very dynamic race. So I'm expecting to see that. Probably not that as much. It was Tier 3 was amazing. Probably one of the best races of Emerald, I would say, at least the season. But it was very amazing. So be sure to check out this on YouTube. And yeah, it's cloudy here. It's cloudy stars.
It is indeed. Maybe we're going to see a bit of rain towards the middle or the end of the race. I mean, that's always going to spice things up, especially around this circuit, obviously, with all the new Renaults have done. It is a little bit slidey because there isn't all that rubber which has been put down on the track. I don't believe there's many support categories who go here as well, so very interesting to see, obviously, tyre choices and especially the people outside the tent. You know, are they going to go for the optimal strategy or is there going to be rain early on? And, you know, if there's rain early on, does that mean they're going to start on the soft compound tyres? Like everybody else. It's going to be a
Yeah,
tricky one.
I think the rain will not pour down, and I will tell you why. Because a lot of drivers really wanted to qualify with those softs. So unless it's like 5 minutes, 5 laps from the beginning of the race, I don't think the rain will pour down. Because otherwise, a lot of drivers on quali would have tried to qualify on mediums and start on that top 10 on different tires to go and stretch the stint to the rain.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, as we can see, the drivers are now beginning their formation lap, as that is a beautiful camera angle. I love seeing that. But run us through these tyre options, especially towards the back of the grid.
Yeah, we have Cheery on Alfa Romeo's reserve capacity, as I said. On mediums, he's just following him. On mediums as well, Zamos, Astrodyne, J4 Science, Trifium. On the hard compound, we have Cappy on the softs. Holes on the mediums, Paula with the softs, and Gauziak on last position on hards as well. So we have a lot of hards here. 3 mediums, 2 softs, and 5 hards. So very different selection from the drivers. Of course, the top 10 will be on softs.
Yeah, very diverse their selections. I did expect to see maybe just some medium runs. I personally feel like the medium tyres around here feel better. Obviously, it puts you in a bit of a situation where you can't really do soft medium. You have to obviously do medium hard. So obviously these drivers and starting on the hards just want to do hard softs and be lightning towards the end of the race. So that makes me believe we're just going to have a cloudy race, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it will be enough for rain. Probably a safety car can can make the prediction go bold, and probably we can watch some rains. I think that happened on Tier 1 Hungary last season, where a safety car came in and just the prediction was messed. So we didn't know we had rain till the rain poured down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, as the drivers are coming around, the last couple of laps are going to find their grid slots and they're going to get ready. So if you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to another Misfits Racing League. We are in the circuit of Zandvoort, around Netherlands, for our Americas division. It is a 4.2 kilometre circuit, 14 corners. These drivers are ready and they are stoked. Just before we do start, just want to give a big shout out to our partners, Next Level Racing. Their link will be in the description. If you're interested in any sort of sim rigs or something like that, please go check those guys out. They're great. But Biddo, it is it, mate. I'm going to give you the honours. Take us away.
Yeah, as the last driver, it will be Gauziak going into the grid. They are readying up for this start, and it will be 5 red lights here on Zandvoort. The guys are readying up the engine, and we will see because it's a good start for Asking, but I think it's better for Sidiras. Let's see because Becky is defending from Rhapsody. I think it's a clean start as far as I'm watching. I think there's not a lot of exchanges actually. We have the time tower a little bit messy as always, but I think it will be all the drivers on the same position almost.
Yeah, everything looks pretty clean around there, that's for sure. Obviously, our time tower is a little bit bugged out. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But as you can see, our drivers are coming through turn number 7 here. We do have S King leading with Sidras behind and Becky B close in third. Rhapsody, BTFU. So I don't believe the top 5 have changed. Everyone has kept it clean, which is lovely to see. So some great battling coming out here at the moment it's very hard to find what's going on here because of that timing tower, but it looks like we have got it back for the time being. Midfield battle at the moment. We've got Cheery all over the back of Aphrodite, getting ready for the braking zone of turn number 11, I should say.
Yeah, 11.
So, yeah, no, he didn't go for a dive there. Everyone's trying to keep it all nice and clean at the moment. Esking at the moment, he's managed to get a half a second lead over Sidras here, so that's great to see. He's obviously pushing a little bit. ERS, very hard to get back around here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you need to really conserve that DRS, or we see a little bit of exchange because I think it was Maxime who's going to the pits, probably had some damage. Yeah, he actually had damage, so he will be changing the softs and the front wing. Will put a stint of mediums and try to stretch those. And probably, well, he has to pit again after that to put a new set of softs at the end, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We did just see a bit of battling going on between Strifium and Cappy there. Sorry, Zamis and Cappy. Zamis has managed to hold out there. Obviously, Cappy's flying through on those soft compound tyres, but Cheery's all over the back of Aphrodite at the moment. Obviously, the mediums and the hards, it's a completely different tyre compound, and one is a lot quicker, isn't it? Especially in the start of the race, these opening laps, the mediums are just killing the hards.
Definitely.
Expect to see some early positions, that's for sure.
Yeah, Cherry has to take profit of this advantage right now because Astro ahead of him is probably losing him time, but it seems like Astro has more pace than Cherry on the Alfa Romeo, and Zamus probably as well because I think he's catching. So yeah, talking about the stars, I think it was Max Senna with the worst start of the grid right now. I think he was losing 7 places. He recovered 2, one with a strift, and the other one with Maxime beating on lap 1 to lap 2. So right now, you see there's some Becky B exchanging position, or well, they were trying, and Becky B has to back out. Harlem Maxis as well battling on turn 3.
Yeah,
so
I was just on board with them.
Battle.
I was just on board with them there, Biddo, mate. It was side by side through turn 1 and pretty much through turn 2. So some cars getting very close to each other. Obviously, really wanting to get these positions as early as they physically can. Obviously, that you want to make those soft compound tyres work as much as you can. Just on board with Cherry, actually goes onto the grass there, so he has got a bit of debris on his left side front left tyre. So hopefully that can scrub off. He will lose a bit of time in the corners, that's for sure. But it's still a very, very close grid here, but not too much overtaken. Everyone's just finding their way into the groove, trying to stay calm. It's a long race. It's 36 laps. It's about 45 minutes for these drivers. So it's a battle of who can stay out there and not get damaged. Patience. That's the word I was looking for, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about patience, we have Astrolite closing still the gap on Caesars, but not using any battery. Caesars has like 50%, 60%.
Yeah.
And Astrolite has almost a full and whole battery. And
Yep.
I think he's just nursing it and taking this hard as fast as he can on this first stint. So after that, he can take profit of the faster tires and doing the overcut. So Astro seems like, we know he's a very wise and experienced driver. So he's just taking, as I said, patience.
Yeah, and that's all you got to do, isn't it, Beto? You just got to take patience. These positions will come as we see the Red Bulls all over the back of each other through Sector 2 here. Cappy and Max Senna really battling each other hard. Christian Horner on the pit wall there's not going to be, he's going to be very nervous, I can tell you that much. I would be.
Sure. And so we have another train, I think it's Strifium leading it on P15, J4 side trying to go for a gap, but I think he's too far back for doing it.
Oh, as Max Senna goes for a dive. Max Senna goes for a dive, had to pull out of it. He's going to take a corner cut there. Sorry to interrupt you there, Biddo. That was nearly very dangerous. The Red Bulls nearly came together.
no problem for the action, whatever. But we have Becky just setting the fastest lap, and he's very close as Sidiras as well is closing the gap on Asking. So we are the three leaders very, very close as Rhapsody drops out of DRS just on lap 5.
Yeah, he does. He's going to want to try and get back in just before the DRS straight of in Sector 2 to end Sector 2 into Sector 3. He's going to want to get back in there. He's going to need a good section through, a good run through 7, 8, 9. Hopefully try and get back in that DRS. But we've got some close battles towards the back here. Jay Fasai all over the back of Striffium, and then Holt's behind him. So this as Chiri has left the session, looks like he's unfortunately got some internet issues. So it looks like Zamis is probably going to get the move done very, very soon, that's for sure.
Yeah, I invited him. He had a backup invite. Very bad luck for Chiri there, but yeah, Zamos will have it easy this time, only using DRS and a little bit of battery there to just neutralize the Alfa Romeo driver. So yeah, we have these pockets of driver. Look at the top three, just doing the gap on Rhapsody as well. At the same time on BTFU and BTFU still holding ahead of Angel Cordova. So we will see, because as well there's 2.7 gap between P6 and P7 as we see the tower just resetting after Cherry rejoining the session.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just on board with the drivers as they come down the main straight there. It's quite amazing to see when you just see these cars go up to 320 k's an hour just down the main straight. DRS wide open. It's beautiful. It's great to watch. But this track's starting to rubber in a little bit now. But obviously, I think the fall off point for these soft compound tyres is about lap 5. I think the mediums take over in terms of overall pace around lap 5, and then obviously the later on they get to the sin, it starts to really get bad to drive, especially through these fast corners. Isn't that right, Bido?
I would actually disagree a little bit. Probably not lap 5, but if you really know how to conserve the temps on the softs and probably the wear as well, you can still manage the pace almost 10 laps on the softs. As Striff we see taking the curb on turn 10, it's not helpful, almost losing the car, but he keeps it tight. But yeah, I actually think the crossover point between softs and mediums should be around lap 8 and 10 rather than lap 6.
Okay, yep, gotcha. Alright, well, we'll have to watch out for them. Obviously, see Joss, our first medium runner. But yeah, as I was on board with Jay Fasai, as he's got a beautiful run over Striffium. Striffium has gone very deep. Striffium's got 9% ERS, so I think he's just going to want to conserve this as Jay Fasai makes a nice clean overtake with DRS into turn 1. Striffium is fighting him a little bit though, as we've got Holtz who's just joined into the action. Anyone going to... So Striffium, yeah, Striffium does yield there going into turn 2. But yeah, now this little pack at the back here, 5 cars, 15 to 19, that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. These guys are really battling hard. It's great to see.
Definitely. They are all on the RS window of each other. As yeah, we saw Striffium losing a place on J4 very difficult to defend the position there on turn 2 and turn 3, because the angle of the entry of the bunker corner is really difficult to defend. Probably you can spin if you touch the curve on the inside, so it's well, it's better to just keep it off the curve.
Yeah, exactly right, that's for sure. So there's not too much action going on at the moment. Obviously, like I said, everyone's just trying to find their little groove. CJOS is slowly pulling in Axis. Axis is without DRS. CJOS could potentially go for a move here, but I think he's just gonna wait, bide his time. He knows, like you said, the soft tyres are going to start to hit the cliff a little bit soon, so he's going to be in prime contention. Only 2 tenths behind. Our front runners here, there's nothing that has changed in our top 6, I believe it is. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are just conserving. I think they know their race is happening later on, as we do actually have Striffium, who manages to get back past.
Tries the move on the exit of turn 1. He actually got it, but now he's defending on the inside of turn 3. J4 is still on the outside, same compound of tires, and Striff has taken the place, but I think J4 is not done already. Yeah, he's not done, but still he will be holding now. Tholes, though, I think he has a different option on his mind, because he was just approaching the back part of the Haas, so it's Tholes just trying to make some ground here, Sars.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We do have some battles up ahead, CJOS, but I just want to jump back on board with Sidras, because he has closed in. He has brought that gap down. S-King, 54%, Sidras, 65%, so he's closing in very quickly. It looks like he might might be pushing a little bit more than S King. Obviously, these pit windows are slowly
Oh, look at
eventually
this!
coming up.
Look at this! Look at this! It's three wide on the main straight. This Astrolite taking both of them. He was saving the battery, and he takes both of them on the main straight. And now on the outside of Caesars, Caesars just got marked by Astrolite because Caesars was just building, and trying to take the place on the axis lap by lap, and Astra just conserving the battery between behind them both, just utilizing the battery on the perfect spot, just draining 40% of that battery and taking both places.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a tough thing, isn't it, about this track, Bito? You know, obviously, if you want to use your ERS and overtake someone, you're kind of stuck for the rest of the next couple of laps. Because I think if you just don't touch your ERS, you only get about, I think it's 16% back at the end of every lap, and that's a very small amount.
Yeah, I actually think it's actually less
That's
because
less.
yeah, I think it should be around seven or not even. As we see the drivers go through lap nine, none of them pitting still.
Oh,
The soft
Paula.
runners still
Paula.
holding.
Paula and Maxine B managed to get past Striffium there. Striffium goes wide on the exit of turn 10. Really unsettles the car there and just has lost two positions. And now he has Gorzieg all over the back of him. As we do have a couple of position changes because Harlem has pitted I would say probably a little bit too early for those hard compound tyres, but they will make it to the end.
I think he saw the window and he's just pitted, and probably the undercut can really be useful because look at this, it's clean air for the Williams, so he'll be trying to do this undercut. I think he was just behind, well, probably not just behind, but like 3 seconds behind Angel on P6. So I think he's trying to do the undercut. So probably you can see these leaders pitting now to not take any risk.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The undercut there, the undercut here is obviously going to be a little bit big, especially when you've got clean air. As we have Maxine B go around the outside of Polo, and Polo has lost the car. Polo has lost the car and gone into the wall. We do have a yellow flag for
That's
Sector
very
2.
unfortunate for Paula on his debut.
Yeah, that is bad. As we do have our leaders come to the pits, we've got just S King. S King is the only one who has come into the pits.
Yeah, we'll see if he has clean air because I will not be sure definitely. Probably just ahead of Zamas, but yeah, I think that would be the case. But very tight, and probably if he falls in traffic, it will be massive for Sideros, and I think actually Sideros knows what he's doing.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. As we do have a battle, Maxime B, he's caught up to the back of the pack and he is flying, ladies and gentlemen, on those medium compound tyres. So pit window is now open. Thank you to our insights powered by AWS. So if you want to pit from those softs and go into those hards, this is the opportune time.
Sorry to interrupt, because look at the exit of turn one. Is the both Canadians Striff and Gaziek. Now is Striff on the inside again, defending the position against the Mercedes driver, but it will be Striff right now holding the position for 18th place.
There's no love lost between these two, that's for sure, isn't it, Bido?
Sure, both Canadians trying to take the higher spot possible.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They want to be known as the quickest driver, but now we do have Sidras, and Becky B decides to stay out. This is what he did last week, Bido. He stayed out. He stayed out way more than everybody else. He tried to really extend, so he had those quick tyres at the end. As we do see Sidras actually get held up in the pits, unfortunately, due to BTFU coming in. So hard compound tyres are going on these front runners. Now, where does this fit everybody in? S King. S King's going around the turn one corner. He has actually maintained the gap. Sidras, yes,
will be just
that's
the
it.
traffic. Let's see if his leader. Yes, leaders will be blocked by Zamos. Zamos is on old tires.
Oh, that's not good. He's going to want to make the move as soon as he can. You can see him using all of his overtake keys right on the back of that gearbox over Zamas here. This is going to be interesting. He's going to go for a dive into turn 7. No, he held back because, you don't want to go too wide there, that's for sure. But he's going to want to make this move done because he's only losing time. He's losing big time to S-King here. So he needs to make this move quickly. BTFU is going to actually catch up to him if he doesn't make this move quick. You will have DRS going into turn 10, but Zamas might actually get DRS as well. And he does.
Yeah. No, yeah, he actually does. Sorry, as this will be massive for Becky. Let's see if he just takes the opportunity and pits now. He has, no, he doesn't. He doesn't pit as he's wasting a lot of battery. He lost 20% only on this lap. We saw the green bar just draining after the beginning of this lap.
Exactly
So we
right.
have Rhapsody pitting. We have Rhapsody pitting.
Rhapsody's pitting, and the Sidras goes through, uses a lot of that overtake, only down to 20% here. So now he's got hopefully, yeah. Well, I mean, he can catch back up to Esking, but Esking's got 80% nearly, so he's about 50% behind. So it's going to be also very interesting to see what Becky's plan is. Is he going to mediums? Surely not.
Well, that can be that really can be an option, but I don't think it's worth it because the time you can lose now, it's difficult to gain it back on the mediums. As we see again, both Canadians, they were side by side again on turn one. Let's see, and is Striffim again holding the position.
Oh, these guys are battling hard, aren't they, Bito? This is great. This is great to watch. These guys at the back here. It doesn't matter where you are. You always want to see these battles on track. And obviously, they want those bragging rights. That's for sure.
Definitely, it's 3 laps in a row battling. So yeah, Becky B, I think still no,
Comes into the
she's absent
pits.
to the pits. He's absent to the pits, so I think it will be hard for him. But let's see if he can surprise us, as
But
I think it
Arnhel
will
stays out.
be mediums. No, it's hard. Sorry.
Yep, he is going on to hards, but Arnhel stays out. Now, where's this going to put him? So Astrodyne's still on those hard compound tires. He started on them, so he should get the jump over Becky B. But where's Becky B going to come out?
Oh,
Looks
look at
like...
this! Look at this! Is Becky B
Oh,
jumping ski? It's almost.
oh my
Oh
goodness.
my
So
god, it's
staying
so
out.
tight.
So staying out worked for Becky B. The overcut there actually got past the just because of that, and now he's all over the back of S King. So the overcut worked for Becky B here. Now he's got fresher tyres, only by 2 laps, but that's going to make a world of difference come towards the end of the race if there's no safety cars.
Yeah, it can be a good differential for him. I think it was well the overcut, of course, definitely was good, as he was draining the battery when he was doing the overcut, and Sideris was stuck behind Zamos on all tires. So that was massive for him, as it can be massive for Rhapsody and BTFU if they can't pass the Ferrari soon enough. So we'll have to take an eye out on that action, stars.
Yeah, you're exactly right here. I'm just flicking through the grid at the moment. We do have some close-ish battles. Obviously, everyone's within kind of like that 4 to 5 tenth mark here, so a lot of our front runners have still got DRS on each other here. Sidras obviously has it on Becky B and S King, so our front threes have all got it, as Arnhel does come into the pits, is our
For the
second
mediums.
last. For the mediums, that is correct.
Yes,
Now, this is going to be a stretch, isn't it? Can the mediums make it from here, Bido?
it will be a stretch, definitely. But yeah, I think it's actually possible from lap 14. So he will be trying to do that. Angel is known as a very capable driver to do this, as a Mexican. So he will try to conserve the tires and go to the end and stretch the mediums as far as he can.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe even a safety car, but obviously track position he has lost, so he's not. He's kind of hoping not for a safety car at the same time. As we head over Sector 1 yellow flag, it is
Yeah,
Gorzieg.
I was on
Gorzieg.
board.
Oh, what
I was
happened?
on board, and he was fighting with Striff again, of course, and I think he understeered a little bit on the side but of the Ferrari, and that sent him back into the spin. I don't know if he has damage, probably he has.
Yeah, probably a little bit there. I didn't manage to see too much on the stream, but we are back on board with these front runners. This is just going to be a DRS train. You got C-Joss on old mediums, S-King closing in, Becky B on the back of him. This is going to be heating up very quickly. Obviously, they've got 2 guys in front of them on old compound tyres, so they're going to be wanting to make the moves done as quickly as they can. Rhapsody actually goes on the left-hand side of Zamis, the outside. Zamis on those old hards gives him a squeeze, gives him a big squeeze there. Rhapsody actually has to hold off and just slide in behind. So Zamis playing the aggressive game here. It's great to see. Obviously, that was all legal, but yeah, Rhapsody, he's just losing time to these front runners.
Yeah, as BTFU is still there and with more battery than Rhapsody. So this starts to this is reminding me on the action of Aphrodite and Caesars and Axis, where Aphrodite was holding their back, watching the action, and then we had the moment he just drained the battery. So we can see BTFU doing the same.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Just holding and biding their time. He's got obviously DRS, and when Rhapsody goes for the move, I dare say BTFU's going to try and sneak in as well.
Yeah, I think Rhapsody will try to do the move on the main straight because we saw Zamos blinking. He's low on battery, but not well. Rhapsody is not that high enough to brag about their battery, so he will be pushing now the battery as well as Zamos. He will open the DRS. That will be the difference, and probably the setup probably has more straight line speed. As we can see, he does the overtake on the inside of turn one. That won't be able to hold that, as BTFU now has the traffic and Rhapsody can't take profit of that clean air.
Yeah, that's right. Rhapsody clean air now. BTFU wanted to try and sneak it in, but Zam's closed the door on him. So now BTFU's stuck. He's going to want to obviously use that well, a lot more ERS that he's got in his bank to hopefully try and get this move done as quickly as he can. Obviously, Zamis is more than likely going to have DRS on Rhapsody, so that's going to be a tough, tight battle with Arnhel obviously in clean air on mediums. Watch that 5.3, 5.2, 5.1 second delta because he is going to be flying at the moment.
Yeah, I think he will be now just trying to squeeze as much as he can the mediums, because now is when he has to gain time. After that, he will be, well, we will have the crossover between the hards and the mediums, and the hards will become the fastest tire, exception of the softs, the new softs. So we have to have an eye here, not only on the front but as well on the back, because we have Becky B still on behind Esking, and Esking very good management of battery. He's on almost full battery.
Yeah, as we see BTFU go around the outside of Zamis, his back tire actually touched with Zamis, and Zamis actually went into a bit of a half spin, but he gets the job done. Rhapsody setting the fastest lap of the race as well with that clean air, so just goes to show that he's got pace around this track. Obviously that first stint on the softs wasn't his preferred, but now he's on the hards. Hopefully he's got the car set up and balanced correctly for those hard compound tires. He can now push, but yeah, as you said before, little to no ERS with that blinker, or that light blinking at the moment. Obviously BTFU now got relatively clean air, so he's closing the gap. Should get within DRS of Rhapsody as well, so that's going to be another tight battle.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but look at this train. The top five are super close. Sidiras just on the back. Astrodite. Well, this is a sandwich between the Reynolds, so probably some team orders will have here, but I really don't know about that because they are on super different strategy. And Astrodite, the last thing he wants to deal with is losing time on his total race time. So we will see what the drivers.
Sejos.
Well, oh, Caesar's jumping into the pits.
Alright, so that changes it. That throws a spanner in the works. BTFU, a fastest lap of 111.7. So Sejos, he's going on to the hards. So he's doing medium to hard stint, which is, I mean, very viable. Probably the most optimal strategy at the end of the at the end of the day. Got the hiccups. That's no good. But it's going to be interesting to see because realistically, all he is he's on fresher compound tires, but he's on the same compound at the same time. So I mean, does it really matter? Is he going to make up that much ground? I mean, Astro's looking for a safety car at the moment. He'll be one happy little boy if that comes out. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a problem when you start on mediums. It's like you are. Well, the optimal strategy would be mediums to mediums, but of course you can't do it because you have to switch compounds on the race at least once. So, yeah, that's the thing you have when you start on mediums. You don't know if to do the mediums off and stretch those mediums a lot, or just go super conservative and do a medium hards like Caesars is doing. Of course, he will have an advantage because the hards will be fresher than the other drivers have around 4 and 6 laps fresher. But I don't think it's enough to gain massive time after losing on the first 10 like that.
No, I think you're right there, sir. As we do actually see Maxime, I think it is, who's closing into the back of Axis at the moment. He is within DRS. Axis isn't within DRS, but he's going to be probably getting this move done soon. But he's going to be looking at coming into the pits on those 17 lap old mediums.
Yeah, definitely. He had to pit on lap 1 of the damage. So we will probably, well, not probably, but definitely seeing him on the pits again. The thing is, which compound? 17 laps to go, 16 and a half. And I think the best option should be softs after, well, probably waiting 3 laps now to open the window to that final stint for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, I think you're right there as Paul actually just goes to the left side of the track to let our leaders through. Very sportsmanlike ship. That's what you love to see here. Whereas we do have a Sector 2 yellow flag, that is still Paul just letting people through, so nothing to be too concerned about there. But yeah, as you were saying, it's exactly right. Actually.
Just finished Harlem. It was Harlem, the reserve driver, just rejoining the track, and it was close between him and Max Senna. I was lost. I don't know where he was facing, but yeah, there's a very big spin as Astrodite loses a position on Esking on the main straight, and Esking will have clean air now, so Astrodite will be blocking the Williams and his own
Oh, no,
teammate
he
doesn't
isn't.
know Becky would dive.
He dived down there, but obviously Aphrodite with a wider apex there obviously gives himself a better run out of the corner. S-King now, this is his chance to pull away. Obviously S-King and Becky B very close drivers. They're all over the back of each other in pretty much every single race, so this is his chance to build a bit of a gap here. So we do have another Sector 2
Oh,
flag.
Axis retired Axis retired after a crash. I think he was probably clipping the inside of turn 2.
Oh, there
We'll
it
see if
is.
they have a petrol safety car or something.
Surely
But
that's a safety car. He's right into the wall there.
I
That
don't
is...
think so. I actually don't think so. I think the game will not show us a full course yellow, so it will not be a virtual safety car or a safety car. So that would have been massive for Astrolite. I think everyone here would have bid for new softs.
Yeah, softs can probably, with a safety car, make it to the end. At the moment, I don't think it's viable to pit at this point in time. I think it's too much of a stretch. But yeah, if the safety car comes out, as you see Becky B really spamming that ERS, knowing that it's got to make the move done. Does go for that dive down the inside there. Very clean. Aphrodite gives a lot of room. Obviously left the door open, so now Becky B obviously back on the charge with S-King. These front runners, again, week in, week out, as we have Zamis who comes into the pits. He does go onto those soft tyres, so a little bit, I think, maybe a little bit too early, because they're going to be very dead towards the end of the stint, isn't that right?
He will have to do 15 laps, if I'm not mistaken, on that compound, as we count the current lap. So yeah, it's a big stretch, as we have an exchange between Chiri and J4Sai.
Yeah, that's right. I managed to get on board as that was getting done there. Chiri just around the outside. J4Sai very, very gentleman-like, left the door. And didn't squeeze him, so just let the pass go. Obviously knows that these guys are completely different strats, so didn't want to impact that too much, as we do have another pass for down in a P15. Gorziak actually touches the inside curve of turn 1, actually has let off and has lost a lot of time to Harlem, so Harlem is now up to P15 with those fresh medium tyres, so with a lot of clean air as well, so interested to see if he can close in the gap.
Yeah, definitely. Harlem has a lot to recover, a lot to do the comeback, because after the spin, it was very, very bad. So he had to change the tire. As we see, Rhapsody, I think Sidiras has damage. That's why he's losing the gap. Well, the gap extending between teammates and Renault, because Sidiras has damage and Rhapsody is just on the back of him. He was trying to move on turn 1 on the outside. It didn't result as he wanted to. But we will see Rhapsody attacking Sidiras on these laps, as BTFU is just behind expectating with with the popcorn. Sorry.
Yeah, with the popcorn, you're not wrong there, as Rhapsody still got that blinking light. Now, just quickly, has Arnhill actually caught up? I think he's lost time, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, because I think he was catching, but now it just seems like he's falling asleep.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe he got a bit wayward and went into the grass and tried to mow. As Gauzy gets a speeding infringement, 5 seconds added on to his time at the end of the race. So he has gone onto those soft tyres now. So Gauzy and Striff, the Canadians, still battling. As we do have,
Oh,
who's that?
oh, it's Amos. No, he just fitted the new soft compound tires, and then he does a spin out of turn 9. That will be massive for him. And the strategy, as we have an exchange on the leaders.
Oh, we missed that. As with the side by side going into turn 3 here, Beto. These drivers really pushing for it. You got S King, Becky B. Is anyone going to yield here? They're going side by side still. They're touching tyres. And Becky B gets through.
Yeah, Becky goes through, as well as I think it was Rhapsody and Sidiras at the same exact time, the same complex of turns there on Sector 1. Sidiras suffering a lot of lack of downforce after that, as Maxime goes into the pits and put new soft compound tires.
Yeah, so obviously 3 laps difference here between Becky B and S King in terms of tyres. So is S King going to go, right, okay, he's got the fresher tyres than what I do. What do I do? Do I maybe just stay within DRS, conserve my ERS, hopefully try and build up a bank and go for it? Or do you think Becky B is just going to go, right, I'm off, I'm going to push and use everything I've got now?
He's on 12% battery. He's actually going to blink in a few moments. So Esking not utilizing that battery, just sticking on his slipstream. I think Esking will be holding that window as we see Astrolite go into the pits, putting new softs.
Yep.
That's a good strategy. He will be P7, if I'm not mistaken. Probably P8, as Caesars will be crossing the line. I don't know.
Yes.
It will be very tight between these two.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, Biddo. We've actually got Striffim, who's received blue flags behind, just in front of Rhapsody, and has actually held him up through the whole of Sector 1. He's still not letting him by. He's had about 8 blue flag warnings now. He's still not letting him by. Rhapsody is just getting this dirty air and just losing time to him. So this is very interesting here. Blue flags lap down. Gotta let him through eventually, doesn't he?
Yeah, he should. I probably he's trying to take profit of that soft compound tires because otherwise I don't know what is happening. Probably this thing. I don't know if he's watching him.
Oh, I'm not too sure at all, but this is crazy. There you go, 5-second penalty, ignoring blue flags. Stryfium, what are you doing, son? You got to let people through when you get those blue flags. He did about half a lap, 3/4 of a lap, I think, actually. So that's no good, as we did have Cappy actually picking up 3 seconds worth of pens as well. So people are starting to get a bit lazy as they go around the 3/4 mark of the race here, Biddo.
Yeah, we have this gap's extending a little bit. We have the battle for the lead, and Maxime as well overtaking just Siri with that differential of tires. Siri on 8 old hards and Maxime with neo softs. So Siri will try to finish on the points, but just Maxime stealing that point on
Fastest
P10.
lap as well, maybe? There it is.
Yes, indeed. So it will be 2 points right now for McLaren. No, it will be 6 because he just is on P8.
What's happened here? So Jay Fasai's coming to the pits. He's done... Did he do 25 laps on hard compound tyres? Jeez. I think he probably left it maybe a tad too late. I mean, he's going to have beautiful softs towards the end of the race, but I mean, maybe that's a little bit too late.
Probably a little bit late for Jay Forsai. Probably it could have take profit of the soft 1 or 2 more laps, as we see Becky B and Eskin crossing the line to enter lap 27. It's still close between both leaders, and Sidiras on P4 losing the DRS on Rhapsody, I think.
Yeah, he did indeed. So we'll just take this time just to have a look at penalties at the moment. So Zamis is on 3, Cappy on 3, Gauzy and Striff, the Canadians both on 5 seconds, but for different reasons. Position changes. Our market mover of the day is Aphrodite up 7, obviously on that alternative strategy. So he's going to be pushing towards the end of the race here. But our loss is Axis, obviously having to retire the car with that tyre loss outside of turn number 3, down 12 spots. So yeah, it's starting to heat up here a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, he had bad luck there on turn 3. I think it was he got that spin. Probably a safety car would have sparked a lot of dynamic racing here. Everyone should have been able to pit for new subs, and probably just a sprint race to the end.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Safety car comes out, soft sprint race to the end. Yeah, that's exactly right. And I mean, it's really going to spice things up as we are watching Esking here, just conserving that battery. It's BTFU. That is big. 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. So Arnhel has actually closed in the gap here a lot and is nearly within DRS. So BTFU 3 seconds to his time. So he's going to lose a couple of spots. So he needs to keep on pushing. He's on obviously 15 lap old hard compound tyres, but he's got people with mediums and softs behind him. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Stars? I'm actually going to say what I think. I think Angel was closing this gap. I think he closed like 6 seconds on BTFU. I think it was the blue flags. I think BTFU and Sideras, and as well as Rhapsody, lost a lot of time with not only Strip, but I think Gauzy a little bit. So that was massive for the race of BTFU, as he has 3-second penalty, and and has a rival just behind him, as we see a yellow flag for
Stryfium.
I think is Stryfium. Yeah.
Yeah, Stryfium I think he tried to let Arnhel through. Aphrodite through, I think it was, but he decided to go off track to do so. So he obviously put a little bit more wear on those soft compound tyres by getting the going to the desert. He had a visit into the desert on that gravel trap, unfortunately. But Arnhel now within DRS, closing the gap so quickly, as you just mentioned, because of those blue flags. So it's going to happen probably maybe even this lap, next lap. We'll have to wait and see. But Arnhel all over the back of BTFU, starting lap 29. So ladies and gentlemen, a few laps left in this race. If you have just joined us, this is round 5, Circuit of Zandvoort. for the Americas division. Just want to shout out to our partners again, Next Level Racing. Their link will be in the description. If you want to get into the old sim racing, please go check those guys out.
Yeah, as Zamos trying the overtake on the main straight, is Chiri defending the inside, will be the Ferrari on the outside with better tires, but no, not enough, or yes, because he will do the switchback on the Alfa Romeo reserved driver, so you have there Zamos taking the place on Chiri, as I think, yeah, Chiri just losing a lot of time in that section. I think he lost the rear. As yeah, we were talking about Aphrodite. Aphrodite is 2.6 and closing massively, almost a second per lap on Angel. So Angel, well, so sorry. Right now, Aphrodite will be gaining a place because BTFU has that penalty. So BT will be falling 2 places, and Aphrodite, if he can take
BTF
profit of
pits.
those, oh, that's massive.
Why is he pitting? He's going for the soft compound tyres.
Yeah, damage.
He did. We don't know where he's picked up damage, but he does have damage. Changing his wing, that's going to throw him way outside the points. Also as well with that 3 second.
No. It will be P9 for him. I think will be close between him and Maxim. We will see if he can do it. He will have new softs and probably setting the fastest lap as well. But yeah, that damage was costing massive time per lap for the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, not wrong there at all, as up front here, S-King actually lost DRS going through that back straight there, so Becky B's pushing. Obviously these tyres difference is really starting to set in now, so S-King's got to be very careful. If he loses DRS at any point, Becky B's got this in the bag, but he did manage to sneak back in. Becky B's flashing again down to 5%. S-King's still on that 40%, but he's going to need to look about maybe making this move soon, because these tyres right at the end, these hards are going to be very worn. And even though it's only 3 laps difference, it's going to be a world of difference in terms of lap time.
Yeah, surely stars. As this remembers me to the battle we had on China, I think it was, or yeah, it was China between Squid and Rutenius. Squid right now on the position of, asking on the position of Squid, where Squid was on all charts but was saving ERS behind the leader, but he was too late on the call for an overtake, and that was caused by a lot of conserving energy.
Oh, we have Cappy. Cappy spun on the exit of turn 12 there. That is in P15. He has lost 2 positions because of that. But yeah, everyone escaped damage, and I do believe he didn't get damage himself either. So
Yeah, it was at least a safe rejoin on the track. Probably a little bit hot tires on the rear for the Red Bull driver, not having the best race on this campaign. His teammate though is still on the points. Probably he will lose a place because BTFU just fitted new softs, so we'll see how that finishes.
yeah, BTFU is going to be pushing. I think he might be able to get the gap over Maxime. His pace is a lot quicker, it seems, especially during the start of this race. So I think he's going to catch up to Max Senna. He might even be able to pull 3 seconds as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Esking was almost losing the pit window. The DRS window we said 2 laps earlier, and now he's still on that half second gap and not wasting energy. Becky B, meanwhile, on low battery, sometimes blinking, sometimes having 20% of battery, but not enough for covering an unexpected attack from the Chile driver.
Yeah,
Asking.
exactly right there. You're not wrong. He's biding his time. He's got nearly 50%. Going to be 4 laps to go soon. He's got to make his move soon. Angel has actually caught up as well to Cedras. Now that is 5/10 as well, so it looks like he'll probably be making the move on the main straight, just on board with S-King at the moment. Doesn't look like he's going to use too much of his ERS, just again holding it, but we will jump on with Angel as they go through turn 13, turn 14. Cedras obviously does not have DRS. Angel is using his ERS and DRS.
Oh, stress.
Oh,
I actually thought he was going to.
He did the fakie.
Oh, look at this, because Angel will dive on the outside. Remember, Sideras has damage on his left end plate. He doesn't have the left end plate. So, yeah, Angel just doing an overcorrection there on the rear, losing on turn 1. We'll see, because Sideras has a massive lockup.
Guess who's joined the party?
Yeah, Aphrodite, of course.
As BTFU sets a fastest lap, a faster 110. on the board, so he will be getting a couple of points now. Well, I mean 3 points all up, so that's all right for BTFU. He might even be able to sneak another couple of points in if he does make that move over Max Center in the last couple of laps on those fresh tyres. I dare say he's going to, but we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. So as we are coming around, both Arnhell and Aphrodite have got DRS, but we'll jump back on board with S-King because S-King is using ERS. This is it. He's called it. He's called it. He's using the ERS. Becky trying to break the toe here. He goes around the outside. Who's going to break later? It looks like Becky B's going to break later, but S-King holds around the outside. But he doesn't make the move. As Cedras gets 3 seconds as well. That's huge as well for those front runners. So Cedras
have another place.
That's right. So Aphrodite moves up another place there. So S-King has used a lot of that.
Super tight. Is Angel Cordoba around the outside of Sideras? Sideras will still hold there after all the battery drain between both. So we'll see, because I think there's contact on turn 3 on the bunker lap. On the bunker turn. But we will see, because Aphrodite right now it's draining the battery, trying to go around the outside of turn 5. Turn 6, it's not possible there. But I think we're seeing an exchange in another. I think
BTFU.
It was BTFU doing the overtake on Max Senna.
Yes, sir, it was. So he has got the move done. As we do have a Ferrari who's spun, is that it is Striff. He has lost his wing, well, most of his wing as well. So he's going to let these guys just get through there. But we will jump back on board with Arnhell, with Aphrodite right over the back. This is heating up, isn't it, Biddo? That's for sure.
Yeah, of course. Differential of tires. Everyone with different tires, it's hard for Sideras as well as damage. And older tires, mediums for Angel, and Aphrodite with the softs, the recent softs, it's fresher, and he's trying to drain the battery again. We will see if he can make the move, but I don't think so.
Oh, he hits the wall.
I think Angel touched the wall, yeah, and they touched the wall.
Hits the wall with Aphrodite. Aphrodite's got the popcorn here. Arnhell actually hits Cedras. Aphrodite goes on the inside. They're 3 wide. Cedras still holds off. Everyone falls back in line here going through turn 2. Jeez, that was scary. I thought that was race over for Arnhell, but managed to hold the car and didn't go directly into where Striff did the lap prior.
Yeah, as we're on the second to last lap, 1 lap and a half, and we have S-King utilizing that battery. They are both on the same range of battery percentage, so I think this is done for S-King. He had 1 attack and he missed it. He missed the shot, and I don't think he will have another shot to do it.
No, that's it. That's it.
That should be the last attempt. He's just draining the battery again. He knows it. Becky knows it. Everyone knows it. This is the last shot. S-King can have it, and he's super far away for the Williams to jump and dive there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll jump quickly back on board with the guys in P4, 5 and 6. Aphrodite gets a little bit slidey as it comes around turn 14 here. So it looks like Arnhell might have the opportunity to take over Cedras. Is he going to go for a late dive? I think he's a bit too far back at the moment. He is closing, obviously with that DRS wide open, but he doesn't seem to get the move done just yet, as we do have a yellow flag. I think that is Striffium letting more people by. Going into turn 3, but we will jump back on board with the leaders as they do get through halfway through sector 2, halfway through the last lap of the race around Zandvoort. Becky B with a 7/10 advantage.
Sorry to interrupt, but he's low on fuel, bro. He's saving. He has to save, because I don't know how much he has to save, but it could be a problem at the end of the of this lap if he runs out of fuel, because it's red.
That's it. Oh, S-King has a massive slide. Big tank slapper. That's it. I think that's 9/10. Becky B.
Oh, look at Astrolite. Look at Astrolite. He's going on the inside of turn 10. It would not be an overtake because he taps the curb. So it'd be super unstable, but probably he will try to dive as Angel Cordova defends and then moves on the braking. I think he jumps the curb and he will not have a penalty, as S-King and Becky B crossing the line. Is Becky B winning this this race on American Division again? We'll see Astrolite because it's very close. At the back end of the racing point, it's Renault not able to catch the racing point, and a very good race. Is podium for Rhapsody, and 4th place will be for Angel Cordova, 5th place for Astrolite, jumping his teammate Sideras.
Yes, that's exactly right. See Josh coming in as P7. BTFU manages to get that gap out just in time with Senna and Maxime coming over the line. Zamis here just missing out on points. I didn't say it this week. I don't want to be a big meme again, but he has officially missed out on points finally, so I can say that without him sneaking in on the last lap there, but he still manages to bring the car home, obviously with that little spin. didn't do himself any favors there. But as we do have the last couple of drivers coming across the line there, Harlem, Jay Fasai will be our last driver on track, and that will conclude today's race for the Americas, as he does actually try and showboat across the line. It's not what you want to see, unfortunately. But what a race, Beto, mate! How
Yeah,
good was that?
amazing, amazing, amazing. I actually there were some parts of the race where it was super calm down, but then just the adrenaline jumping again, like super quickly. We saw Becky just doing the overcut, and then the overtake on asking. Asking was not able to turn that around, so it will be another win for Becky B, as well as he had on Australia, and probably even missing some other track where he won. um, but it's a very good job for these three drivers here on the podium.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll go through the grid official results here. Well, unofficial results. Becky B does take the win, and also the lead of the championship back for the Williams driver there. S King in P2 with the AlphaTauri Rhapsody. Great drive there to obviously get out of those blue flags. Held him up a lot, but still he managed to get on the podium there. So great effort there. Arnhel on the alternative strategy. Sorry, Astrodite on the alternative strategy there. In P5, Sidras P6, CJOS P7, BTFU P8, Max Senna P9, and Maxime getting our last point in the McLaren. Then we do have Zames, Chiro, Harlem, J Fasai, Cappy, Holtz, Gauzieg, Pooler, Stryfium, and Axis, who unfortunately did not manage to finish the end of the race. So we'll just quickly jump on into the race incidents. But yeah, Beto, what a great performance that was. Honestly, what a
Yeah, it
uh,
was
Becky
it
B.
was it
Obviously,
was amazing. It was
yeah,
amazing. I think the reverse strategy from Astrodite and probably Caesars, then BTFU beating two times, Angel doing a soft to mediums, that just produced the spark we were waiting for. And at the end of the race, everyone was um, just on different compounds, different. Well, there was a lot of difference. So so at the end, everyone just mixed on different strategies, different tires, and we have a lot of battles to as consequence.
exactly right, exactly right. Well, look, that does conclude today's broadcast. Again, we do apologise for the
We have
technical.
interviews.
Oh, we do. We have
We have
interviews.
the interviews. We have Becky B waiting on the interview waiting room because I don't think we will have Rhapsody and asking for today on the podium interview. So yeah, I'm going to move Becky B because he's our race winner for today on Zandvoort Stars.
Beautiful, Becky B. Welcome. Is he?
Welcome, Becky B.
Becky B's in the chat. Welcome, Becky B. Congratulations on a fantastic race today. Should be very proud, obviously, to retaking that P1 in the championship, sir.
I actually think he's not here right now. Probably he is just taking a little bit of well, well. I think he's there. Is there Becky B?
It doesn't look like Becky
Oh, there
B.
we go. There we
Oh,
go.
here he is.
Okay,
No.
it wasn't letting me talk. Yeah, that was an amazing race. Yeah, really glad to finally get another win there after not a good one in China, and really glad to win that one.
Yeah, totally. I understand that. Obviously, you held off S King there. S King was using you as basically a boat to conserve his energy, but obviously those fresher tires, and like I said this on the stream, it's only three laps difference there between you and S King on the hard compound tires, but makes a world of difference towards the end there, and it just shows he was getting tank slappers on the last couple of laps, and you seem to keep the traction down. So yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. And I knew my pace because I knew both Sedaris and S King were going to be coming out in traffic, so I figured my pace feels fine, my tires feel good, and I knew they were going to come out in traffic, so I was like, let's go for the overcut, and it definitely paid off in the end. Made it a
exactly.
lot easier on myself in the last few laps.
Yeah, exactly right there. Beto, you got any questions here for our race winner?
Yeah. How much pressure were you feeling when you had asking? I don't know if you knew how much battery he had, but he was conserving, and you were on low battery, almost blinking, and he was on 40%. He just drained all the battery in one attack. It didn't go well for him, but good for you. So
Yeah, and I knew he was definitely conserving, and it seemed like he was probably running a little bit lower wings because I was definitely pulling away in the middle sector. That's probably why it was hard for me to recover that battery. Um, but yeah, when I saw him, when I was able to defend against his attack, I knew after that that was pretty much in the bag because I knew he had basically no battery left. So, I felt pretty confident after that, but definitely a little bit of a scare when he tried to go around the outside, but definitely a very fun battle for sure.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
certainly looked
again, a
like it.
nice rivalry will be during this America's campaign. So yeah, very good job today, Becky B. Something to add, Stars?
No, no, no. That's all from me. But yeah, congratulations, sir. Well done on the P1 and retake the lead. We'll obviously be looking forward to round 6 for next week. That's for sure.
Yep, thank you guys.
Thanks,
Definitely
mate.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, very good job. See you.
All right,
So
Bidev,
yeah,
we got.
that should be enough for today, I think.
Yeah, no more interviews today, unfortunately. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for stopping by the Misfits Racing League Round 5, Season 4 for our America's Division around the Circuit of Zandvoort here. We're going to be obviously looking forward to next round. Next round is Spain, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Your
It will
home
be my
track.
home GP. Yeah.
I hope to see you do well over in Tier 1 there, sir. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in. We will see you again next time. My name is Stars, and take care.
Yeah. See you.